All right, all right, all right, all right. What it do? What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, people? Happy Friday, man. It's your man, Project Mac, aka Mac Solomon, coming to you guys live on this great Friday evening out here in sunny California. Before we start, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please comment down below anything you guys want to see me react to, see me touch on, comments, different articles, Instagram videos of just fitness things that is related to the Winner's Diet show. But yeah, man, we here. Welcome to the Winner's Diet show. I'm trying to stop saying podcast because I want this to be branded as a show. So, but we here, man. I'm having a great Friday, having a great week of just working, training. But we made it to Friday, man, and I could not be any happier. We are here. Before we start, let me get my swing of water. Make sure you guys stay hydrated, man. It's very important out here. But today, man, we got a jam-packed show for you guys today. As you guys know, we're breaking down funny fitness videos. We're also breaking down different fitness articles and topics that's going around in the industry, and just giving you guys learning lessons on all of them. And then obviously the main topic of today, the main event, why you're still fat, and it's not genetics. So we will be breaking that down as well, giving you guys insight on that. Give me 1 second, you guys. Let me open this window. It's hot as hell up in here. Oh, shit. The window's already open. Anyway, man. Yeah, man. Again, before we start and get into the show, make sure you guys hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Push us up the algorithm. We're trying to, we're trying to get in that YouTube algorithm. So make sure you guys show love and support. But without further ado, man, let's get to it. All right, give me 1 second here, you guys, as I get my shit together. Oh man, I need to get my hair braided. I need to get my life together right now, man. I need to shave. I need to get another twist. But it's one of those Fridays, man. But we here anyway. So anyway, man, let's get to it. We are reporting first, you guys, the fit report. So let's get into it, talking about different fitness news going on in the industry. This one is funny. So apparently, NYC restaurants are now having a different menu for people that use Ozempic. And I always talked about before, when Ozempic came into play, there's going to be a market correction with how restaurants do business, with how clothing stores do business, social media. That's going to impact Ozempic. Ozempic is going to impact social media. So there's going to be so many different factors and so many different changes that a lot of companies are going to adapt to because of Ozempic. Even the health industry, you guys see now, doctors. Hold on. We're frozen. Hold up. 1 second, you guys. Are we back? Anyway, so doctors, now are prescribing Ozempic to their patients. So this is something that we've never seen before. And like I said, this is going to be a correction in the market. Anyway, let's get to it. So here we go. The first article is here. Where we at? Let me pull this up. All right, here we go. So NYC restaurants catering to Ozempic crowd with single meatballs, 1 ounce hamburgers, and caviar nibbles. Interesting. Let me change up the screen real quick. All right, here we go. So let me reread that again. 1 second here. You guys, I'm still trying to get this thing together. So bear with me right now. Bear with me. Jesus. All right, here we go. So NYC restaurants catering to Ozempic crowd with single meatballs, 1 ounce hamburgers, and caviar nibbles. All right, restaurants across New York City are increasingly adding single flavor pack bites to their menus to accommodate customers with shrinking appetites due to weight loss medications such as Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro, I guess. According to some surveys, as many as 1 in 8 Americans have tried the drugs. Okay. So people come in and they're not shy about saying they're on Ozempic, said Max Tucci, the restaurateur behind the Buzzy Tucci in NoHo. To better serve such guests, the Italian restaurant recently started offering its caviar topped arancini in a single portion for $12 instead of the usual 3 arancini for $34. I don't even know what arancini is, but it sounds expensive. Okay, so basically, you guys, this is what's happening right now. What's happening right now is, and shout out to the people in the chat, leave a comment, hit the like button. Appreciate you guys. What's happening right now is restaurants are now adapting and adjusting to the market. You know, they understand that people now are, and even though it's a small percentage of people on Ozempic, they understand there's a market for it. So even though, you know, we have our core clientele customers that come in on the regular, there's also another lane that we can tackle and get more money in with this Ozempic crowd. So they may not come in and order the full, the full course as our regulars do, but if we can curate a menu for them, shit, they can start shopping here, they can start eating over here a little bit more, and now we've just opened up a new lane for us to make even more money. So it's a very smart business practice. I'm not mad at it. I definitely don't want to encourage that type of behavior with Ozempic, but this is where it's heading. I told you guys about the body positivity movement and why it's been so successful. It definitely plays on people's need for excuse making, excuse me. So they understand that if you're fat, and you can monetize you being fat, now this creates more industries for them to make money off you. And the only person that really loses in the end is you. So again, it's a very smart business practice. I got to tip my hat to them, but do I see this working long term? I'm not too sure. And people wonder, like, how does it work with Ozempic people? So what happens with Ozempic is that it decreases your appetite. So Ozempic, when you're using Ozempic, your appetite gets reduced. So now you're not eating as much. Hence people losing massive amounts of weight. But the only problem with Ozempic is that it does reduce your muscle mass. So if your goal was to lose weight, you'll lose weight. You'll lose a lot of weight, but at the same time, you're going to lose a lot of muscle mass as well, which is going to increase your body fat. So you're not necessarily healthy. And I don't think people understand, the after effects of what Ozempic does to you. And I've seen people get on Ozempic and then get on steroids. So, it's a crazy it's a crazy thing, man. But this is where we are in 2025. It's where we are in 2025. And I don't see it going anywhere. So this is the new normal. It's about making money now. It's not about healing you. It's not about getting you better. It's not about making sure you're living a healthier lifestyle. It's any way I can make $1 off of y'all dumbass. So this is the new normal, man. Unfortunately, this is where we are in society. So I hopefully it gets better. Do I think it will? Probably not. All right. Next up in the fit report. All right. Let's see what we got next. This is a good one. 1 second. Let's pull this one up. So here we go. 1 second. Working on 2 screens, guys. Give me a second here. All right. So let me get this right. All right. So this one, very interesting topic. This is for all you gym goers that are frequently at the gym, new year, new me, ass ninjas. You know what I'm saying? This is for y'all. So a study shows that 67% of gym members rarely use their memberships. Shocker. Big shocker. Are you paying for a gym membership you barely use? You're not alone. Around 67% of gym members rarely go, according to fitness industry stats. Most people start with good intentions, but without structure, habits, and follow through, that motivation fades fast. This isn't about guilt, it's about awareness. If you're training for gains, health, or mental clarity, showing up consistently is what actually moves the needle. Be in the 33% who use it, not the 67% who just pay for it. Yeah, man. I mean, unfortunately, this is the reality of most gym goers, and the ones that do go to the gym. Let's just say, so it said that 33% are the ones that actually go. I would say more than half of that 33% just goes to the gym and does some bullshit. So they might go to the gym, go on a treadmill, depending on what gym they go to. They might hit the sauna. They might go to the steam room, they might go to the pool. So I mean, it's not really a shocker. I would say, this is my estimation. Don't quote me on it. This is not based in facts or research, but if I could estimate the percentage of people that actually go to the gym to get in shape, I would say it's about, out of that 33%, I would say it's about 10%. And that's me being generous. I would say 10% of people actually go to the gym to actually get in better shape and lose weight or build muscle. Like I would say 10%. So, I mean, again, it's not a shocker. Most people have plans. They have a resolution, usually in January. Well, usually it starts in December. Then January happens. They might be on it good for about 2-3 weeks. And then after that, that's when you know whether you really want to be there or not. That's when you really get tested to see if you really want the body that you want or not. So after that 2-3 weeks, you start seeing motherfuckers just drop off one by one. Before you know it, they stop going for a week. That week turns into 2 weeks. 2 weeks turn into a month. Next thing you know, man, I'll start January 1st of 2045. And that's how it goes usually. It's a sad reality of most people. Most people can't really stick to a plan or stick to an idea that they've already established and planned out. And what I've realized is this, man, and this can be said for a lot of things. Most people just like the idea of something. They like the idea of being in shape, having a 6-pack abs, being in a relationship, being successful. They like the aesthetic of things, but they really don't want it as bad as they say they do. Because when push comes to shove, when they get tested and when it's time to really be disciplined for what they really want, they fall off. They fail. So, yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good to be, you know, it sounds good to be in great shape and be able to run a mile without stopping. It sounds good to, be in a relationship. Oh, but relationships take work. Having a good body takes work. You know, they don't want to do that part though. When it comes to the hard work part, man, see, that's where you got me. Okay, so you don't want it then. You just like the idea of it. You like the idea of having these things. You like the aesthetic of how it looks on Instagram, of how it looks to people that you love and care about. You want to show off to your friends, but you really don't want to do the work to maintain that or even achieve that. Everything sounds good in theory. Oh man, I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m. and run 2 miles, and then I'm gonna hit the gym and then go to work, and then I'm gonna do that for a month straight, and then I'll be in shape. Man, by that second day, you're cooked. Cooked. Sounded good. You saw a nice little motivational clip on Instagram, and now you're motivated. You got your shoes out, you got your clothes out for the next day, all lined up on your bed. First 2 days, you in there. Now do that for another week, another month, another year. They can't do it. It's too hard. They fall off. They weren't mentally prepared to be in that environment. They weren't mentally prepared to do the work. Everything sounds good in theory until it's actually time to do it. So, yeah, man, if you have a goal in mind, if you have things that you want to achieve, you cannot get caught up in how it looks, how it might feel, how it's going to look to other people. That's what is going to make you fail in the long run, because you're not doing it out of your own wants and needs. You're doing it for validation. So you got to check yourself, man. If this is what you really want, then you're going to have to make a sacrifice. But most people do not like making sacrifices. Most people do not want to be uncomfortable for a certain amount of time. They can't see past the uncomfort. They can't see past the hardship and the adversity at that moment. They have to have it now, and it don't work like that. So it is what it is, man. Shout out to people in here. Please, man, hit the like button, you guys. All two of you guys in here. I appreciate you guys. Show some love. But yeah, man, we are cooking on this nice Friday night. Appreciate you guys. Let's keep this thing going, man. We are still on the Fit Report. Let's keep it going. All right, where are we at now, man? Where are we at with it? So this next one. Okay. So you guys can see right here. All right, next one up. Research suggests that watching steroid related content makes you 3.6 times more likely to develop body dysmorphia. What you watch shapes how you feel about your body. Studies show that young men who regularly view steroid related content on social media are 3.6 times more likely to develop muscle dysmorphia, a condition where you obsessively believe you're not muscular enough, even if you are. This isn't just about fitness, it's about mental health. Be mindful of the content you consume. It matters more than you think. 100%. 110 freaking percent, man. And we did a show about this. We did a show about this last week. And we talked about the dark side of the fitness industry, how it once was majority, about encouraging people and getting in the best shape of your life or just living a healthier lifestyle overall. And of course, you had the bodybuilding lane sector of it. There was always that sector, but now it's because of social media, it's been amplified. And Now it's the fitness industry, as I said before, has really become just an industry of vanity. It's not really about helping people become better anymore. Or yeah, you still have that. Don't get me wrong. But now when it comes to social media, man, it's about the aesthetic. It's about vanity. It's about being obsessed with how you look and six pack abs and 3% body fat and girls with BBLs, pretending like they actually worked for their body. This is what the game has turned into. And I've seen it from when I first got into the fitness industry 10 years ago up until now. Um, and if you guys don't know that are watching, I am a fitness trainer. I've been training for about 10 years now. Um, I've worked with hotels such as the Four Seasons, partnered with the West Hollywood Edition in LA. I've been able to train people in the entertainment industry. So been around for a while. I've seen things. I've been on my own tours, my own fitness tours, different cities like that. So I've been around a little bit, man, and I've seen just how much fitness has changed and basically just the evolution of where it's gone to. And honestly, I don't really like it. I don't really like it at all. I just don't like what it's doing to people's self-esteem, especially people that are trying to change their life and their body, and they're seeing guys that have unrealistic bodies online, right? It's very similar to watching pornography. Um this is how you excuse me. This is how you rot your brain, you know, watching something that isn't real, and you think this is actually how somebody is supposed to live life, and that couldn't be further from the truth, man. You're watching a body that's not realistic in any capacity. It's if you're a woman looking at a girl that's has a crazy looking booty, that shit is bought and paid for. She was probably a former stripper, which I talked about before. Watch out for a lot of these women that are trying to sell you um on them being trainers when a lot of them were just former, ladies of the night or strippers now transitioning. A lot of them pivot out of that industry and they go to fitness. Trust me, I train a lot of them. it's it's very common. A lot of them will rebrand and go into the fitness industry after they get burnt out in the nightlife, or they get burnt out in the sex industry. They'll pivot to fitness because it's the most I don't want to say easy, but it's more convenient. I already have a nice butt. Let me go ahead and sell it for money without having anybody you know the rest. Anyway, this is a family show, kind of. And then for the men, right? We're looking at all these brolic big dudes that have these crazy skin tight bodies and shredded abs and veins everywhere. And then we look at us, and you look at yourself, someone that's in fairly good shape, that thinks he's not working hard enough or he's not doing enough. And I've caught myself, sometimes being victim to this. Sometimes you might be scrolling online and you see a guy with a crazy body. And you're like, damn, the dude got a nice body. Pause. But then you realize it's very easy to tell who's on PEDs, who's using and who's not using. So you can't let yourself get caught up in something, a fairy tale body. You don't see behind the scenes that these guys make content, when they're on their cycle for about 2-3 months out the year. And then the last 9 months out of the year, they're off their cycle and they're in complete misery. They feel like shit, mood swings, no sex drive, they're irritable, they gain weight because they're not on their cycle. So you don't see the dark side of that. And they're not going to promote that to you because obviously they have to show you that, hey, man, this is a body that I work for. And you can get the same body too if you buy my program. So they're always trying to sell you something, man. And I always say, watch out for these guys because a lot of these guys are not real trainers. They're not real coaches, and they can't properly put together a program that is specifically meant for you. You know, it's kind of just these guys really don't have a target audience. They just target guys that, you know, kind of just follow them. And everybody's different. You know, this is why I talk to guys that are 30 plus who are trying to get back in shape, who don't want to spend all day in a gym, who felt like they've lost their edge. You know, this is for you guys. This is who I'm speaking to. This is my audience. You know, and I have a plan specifically for you guys, which is why I do online coaching. So if you guys did want to know the secret to not, you know, if you guys are tired of just fad diets and doing keto and intermittent fasting and all this shit, feel like you got to be in a gym for 3 hours a day, and you know you need a correct way, a more efficient way to get in shape and work out, man, just, you know, post a comment down below. Make sure you guys DM me on Instagram. Either one of these Instagrams down here, Winners Diet TV or Project Mac, my main page, and we can hop on a call, man, and get you guys right, man. So I'm tired of all the fluff in the industry. I'm tired of all the BS games that these guys play on you guys, because they know you guys are vulnerable, and they know you guys really want to get back in shape, man, because some of you guys got families, you want to be around for them. Some of you guys just are tired of just being fat pieces of shit, and I get it. You know, I get it, man. Like it's not fun being out of shape. I've been out of shape before. 2023, probably one of the worst years of my life. I was out of shape, and that shit was not fun, man. It was not fun. I've been out of shape. I've been in shape, and I'll tell you right now, being in shape, I would take being in shape 10 times over and over again than being out of shape. So it's just a different type of energy you carry around, man. And that translates to everyday life, man, to how people look at you, to how you interact with people, and perception is reality, man. So if you can leave a strong impression on people, specifically for, you know, you just taking care of yourself, that could translate into so many different things. That can open up different opportunities for you. You know, you just never know. But a lot of you guys don't even give yourself a shot to even do that. So, you know, so I'll just say this, man. Really limit the time you spend watching that type of content, you know, whether it be guys that are, you know, roided out of their minds and just have a crazy, you know, physique. And I'm not saying everybody that has a six pack is on roids. I'm not saying that, but you can tell, at least I can, who's on roids and who's not on roids. It's very easy to tell at this point. So just watch out for that, man. All right, man. We're almost about 30 minutes in. That's crazy. Time goes by quick when you cooking, man. I feel like I'm cooking right now. Hit a like button, man. Hit the like button, please, you guys. Hit the like button if you're watching. Please don't just watch and not hit the like button. We trying to get up in that algo. Please, please, and please. Again. All right. All right. I think that will be it for the fit report. Okay, so we've pretty much got all the articles that we've needed. The next segment, man, let's get into what the fitness. Now we're gonna react to different fitness videos, whether it be funny or fitness videos that have a lesson behind it, and just give you guys some knowledge behind. There's always knowledge behind, you know, a lot of videos, whether it be funny or serious. There's always going to be a learning lesson in there. So I try to give you guys just that, especially things that pertain to today's topic. So let's get into what the fitness. Okay. This one is about a woman who says that she does not like men that are in shape. Okay. So a lot of you guys that think that you're going to go to the gym right now and, you know, get in shape and get a six pack and get muscles, y'all think y'all just going to have women just, you know, fainting at your feet because of your python biceps and things like that. That's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. Women are not going to be, fainting at the sight of you. They're not going to be throwing themselves at you. The reality is this: a lot of you guys are going to get a lot of dudes coming up to you, a lot of guys in your DMs asking you how you got in shape and how you got your chest and six pack like that. That's going to be a majority of the people that's going to be in your inbox. So I hate to break it to you guys. You're not going to be that guy. And a lot of fitness guys will tell you this: just because you're in shape, just because you have a nice body, six pack, all that galore, great. It doesn't mean women are going to be, choosing up heavy on you. It's just not how it works. So just get ready to have a lot of men in your DMs. All right. Pause. Mainly for fitness advice. If they're in there for other reasons, I can't help you on that. But just understand they're going to be in there and asking you a lot of fitness questions, bro. So, and you might have a lot of heavier set women in there as well. So be prepared for that. So some of you ninjas like that, no judgment, but just be prepared to have a lot of heavier set women in your DMs as well. So that's gonna happen. I can guarantee you that. All right, let's go. Let's see what this woman says.
Ladies,
let me refresh the video.
I don't really do the muscle bound guys. They don't like to eat. They too strict for me. I likes to eat. I'm not a big girl, but I love to eat. I don't want you counting calories while we're out. You talk about you're in a calorie deficit. Okay, nigga. You think you better than me? I got this chin blow going on. I want some of your fries and my food. It's too strict over there.
Nobody talks about this enough, man. Nobody talks about how the fit guy cannot get a girl. Okay, you thought all that lifting that you was doing and your six pack and your dieting was gonna get all the girls you can imagine. No, they trying to eat. Okay, now in my case, I don't deal with that because my lady don't give a damn what diet I'm on. I can hear her now. I'm like, hey, I'm not really gonna do that right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming on this juice cleanse. Oh, I love that for you. I'll have the tomahawk. Let me stop playing. She's supportive, okay, but it's not a requirement for her to eat healthy. And even if it was, I don't think she could date me anyway. You know what I'm saying? But that's the real question here. Ladies, could you date a fit dude? Okay. Or do you prefer your man a little fluffy? Because
all right, that's enough of that. But yeah, man. Like I said, as you get in shape, you're gonna have like I said, you're gonna have a lot of guys in your DMs commenting on your pictures and guys, and asking you how you got in shape. But then on top of that, it will significantly impact your dating life once you get in shape. Not saying it's gonna be bad or worse, but it will definitely change. Because let's be honest, man, depending on how old you guys are, like a lot of women don't really work out like that because a lot of them don't really need to at a certain age. As long as women don't overeat, they can still have nice bodies. They can still look fairly good and decent shape. But men, we have to work out because if we start, if we don't work out, we have a bird chest, we have skinny arms, you know what I mean? We have a gut. If the food is if we're overeating, it goes straight to our gut. So men, we have a little bit harder. Women can get away with it after a certain age. They have to, obviously make that lifestyle change. But in this situation here, man, it's really gonna change your dating life because if you're dating someone that doesn't go to the gym and you guys go out to eat and you're still trying to be on your diet, right, and eat right, sometimes they don't like that very much. They don't like that very much. So just be prepared for there might be some tension, some clashes. Like I said, it's very important that you guys are on the same page when it comes to you being, you dating, you being in a relationship. Again, this is not relationship advice. This is fitness advice, right? I'm not Tony Gaskins. I'm not, any of these dating coaches. But when it comes to fitness, just because I train couples or train married couples, it's very important that you guys are on the same page. Because it can put a, it can really impact your dating life and your relationship, because a lot of women want to have fun. They want to go to the restaurant and not have to worry about you, being very picky with what you're ordering. Some just want to go to the restaurant and order what they order, and you order what they order, and they don't like to feel like they're being judged too. That's another thing, right? If you start to be very strict when you go out to eat, right? Like, yo, just give me the Caesar salad and chicken, no seasoning, no sauces on the side. And here she is ordering a burger and fries. Well, that can cause a little bit of insecurity, especially if she doesn't work out. So she's gonna feel like you're judging her. She's gonna feel like you don't like her anymore. Like, how women think. So it's gonna be a very interesting dynamic. I've been through it, so it's very important that you prepare for that. And you'll have women like that saying she doesn't like guys, and it's pretty funny coming from her, someone that's not in shape. A lot of them don't really like to have they don't want to feel like someone's creating discipline for them. They just like being young and free, and be able to do what they want to do. So they don't always like discipline, especially if they don't work out. That's just goes for anybody, period. Honestly, if you don't work out, if you don't have a routine and structure, then you're not going to like discipline. You're not going to like disciplined people, because you're going to think that person thinks that they're better than you, when in reality they probably not even thinking about you like that. They're probably just saying, hey man, I just want to maintain my body composition. I want to maintain my body fat percentage. I just want to hit my macros. Even if we're going out to eat, I still want to hit my macros. I don't want to overeat. I don't want to put any BS in my body, So being on the same page is very important, and don't get with somebody that's going to judge you for wanting to take care of your body and stay in shape and, continue to eat right, even if you're at a restaurant. Oh, don't worry about that. Just order a burger. She don't want to feel bad that she's eating like shit and then you're eating clean, so she's going to try to tempt you to eat like her and do the same things. A lot of guys fall for that, and it happens, man. So just be prepared, man. Be prepared when you're getting in shape. For women really not like to see you be disciplined. It's gonna happen, especially if you're dating someone that isn't on the health journey. It's gonna happen. They're gonna try to get you off it. So be prepared, man. All right, man. Next up, we are about 38 minutes in, man. Hit that like button, man. What else we got here? Next up in What the Fitness. Another guy that talks about the dangers of alcohol. And I've talked about this before. Alcohol, when you're trying to get in shape, really isn't the best option. It's not the best option at all. It's actually, you want to stay away from alcohol when you're trying to get in shape and you're trying to get healthier, for many reasons. And we'll talk about that in this video right here. So let's check it out. This is Dan Martell talking about alcohol and how there's no level of safe alcohol. Let me refresh this video.
In your 20s and you want to be really successful, cut out alcohol as soon as possible. Nobody is going to disagree that alcohol is poison. If I cut myself, what do I put on the cut? Alcohol to get rid of the bacteria. And yet we put that in our bodies and we think that's a good move. Logically, it makes no sense. You give me two people, one person doesn't drink, the other person drinks. I'm betting on the person who doesn't drink by a factor of like 2 to 3x. Dude, you got to lock in. You got to give up stuff. You've got to create space for you not to have mental fatigue and brain fog. If you're in your 20s and you want to be really...
All right. So that is Dan Martell spitting that truth, man. especially young guys in their 20s. You definitely don't want to start a drinking problem in your early 20s, because that will really set you up, man, for your 30s going forward. Guys in their 30s right now, if you're in your 30s right now and you're trying to cut alcohol, man, do your best to cut out alcohol. There's really nothing alcohol. There's really no benefit in alcohol. And I get it. I'm not saying, don't enjoy yourself, don't have a drink here and there, but here and there is the main words here. Here and there, sparingly, right? In moderation. Some of you guys overdo the shit. This is the typical life of most of you guys. Friday comes, get off of work, get home, hit your friends, go straight to the bar, ordering shots, beers, bar food, right? You wake up the next day hungover, feeling like shit. Don't go work out to work it off, or at least attempt to work anything off. Don't go for a walk. Don't drink water. And then you do the same thing the same night. Do it all over again. Sunday you might go day drinking. You might drink in the daytime. Go to a brunch. Do the same thing. And then you keep doing that all throughout your 30s, all throughout your 40s. And then you guys wonder why you have high blood pressure. You wonder why your doctor's telling you that you're predisposed to diabetes. You wonder why your doctor's telling you that you have high cholesterol. You have liver problems. You're at risk for XYZ. Look at your lifestyle. Look what you do. Look at your habits, man. There's really no benefit to alcohol at all, especially if you're trying to get in shape. What alcohol does, and I don't think people understand, in order to build muscle, you need how do I say this? In order to build muscle, right? You need to be hydrated. Alcohol does the opposite of that. Alcohol dehydrates you. So if you're dehydrated, it's going to be hard for you to put on muscle. And our body is made up of 75% water. So you're basically just doing yourself a disservice by continuously drinking alcohol, binge drinking. How do you expect to put on muscle if you're constantly dehydrated? So there's no benefit to drinking. There's none. Again, I'm not saying you can't have a drink here and there. Sure, have one drink, a drink, but don't have 3, don't have 4, don't have 5 on top of shots. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, it don't make any sense to me, man. And then you're here telling me, man, I want to get back in shape. How is that gonna happen? And then on top of that, alcohol, man, think about all the dumb decisions you made when you were younger. Think about all the dumb decisions you made when you were, out and about at nighttime, when you was outside. All the stupid decisions you made. I guarantee you, I would say 90% of that happened. 90% happened. 90% of that happened because you were drinking alcohol. Because I'll tell you, a lot of dumb decisions I made was when I was under the influence of alcohol. And I wish I could take that shit back, because looking back, it's embarrassing to look back and think about what I did in the past under the influence of alcohol. So, and I'm not saying that I don't drink anymore, but I rarely drink. Now, if it's a celebratory occasion, sure, I have, a glass of champagne, or I might have some wine, whatever, right? Something light in calories. But I'm not, those days of me binge drinking and trying to get drunk and fucked up and wasted, those days are over with, bro. Those days are over with. Because I look back at a lot of this shit I did, a lot of things that happened to me was because I was drinking alcohol. So alcohol really, it doesn't have any purpose. It doesn't have any benefit to me. One, making good decisions. Two, me getting healthier. And three, to my life overall. So you guys want to win, you guys want to get back in shape. The first thing you got to do, man, put that alcohol to the side. And I'm talking about cut that shit out completely. I'm not talking about drink here and there. Oh, I'm gonna still have a drink here. No. Cut that shit out completely. And that's one thing. And normally I don't ever say cut shit cold turkey. I usually like to gradually, taper off certain things. But in this case, with alcohol and you trying to get in shape, especially if you guys are way out of shape, I'm telling you to cut that shit out completely. Taper that shit off immediately. No mas. That shit is done. It's got to go. It's got to go, man. Think about a lot of the lives that were ruined because of alcohol. Things you said that you wish you could take back because of alcohol. Think about if you just put that shit down in your 20s. Think about how far you could have made it now in your 30s and 40s going forward. How far ahead of life would you be? I know plenty of alcoholics, man. Plenty of them. And that shit did not start in their 30s. That shit started when they was in college. That shit started at 17, 18, some younger. Starts early, man. And if you let that demon get to you, it's going to be hell trying to get it up off of you. I know plenty of alcoholics, man. Functioning alcoholics at that. But you're still, to me, alcohol is a drug, and it's to me, you're still a drug addict. If you're addicted to alcohol, you're a drug addict. If you're addicted to food, you're a drug addict. Food can be just as much of a drug as alcohol, as other, drugs. Just because of what it does to your behavior, your habits, and your lifestyle. So I'm telling you guys, man, if you want to get in shape, if you are trying to get in shape right now, put that fucking alcohol to the side and don't look back. Because if you can beat that, if you can put that to the side and don't touch it, you've just eliminated 75% of your problems right there. Now it's up to you guys if you want to do it or not. Some guys can, some guys can't. Well, I'm not going to say they can't. They just don't want to. So you got to make a decision. What do you want more? Alcohol, the feeling of alcohol, or the feeling of being in shape and changing your lifestyle? It's up to you. All right. Yeah, guys, keep hitting that like button, man. We're going in right now. We are still on the Fit Report. I gotta get to the main event, so this will be the last one. And this kind of ties into today's show, so we'll probably go ahead and make that transition. This guy talks about how the reason why, as a black man, he's out of shape is because of the stress of the nword that is said to him in America as a black man. And I sit here and I think about the overall message of the winner's diet. And a lot of that comes down to obviously what you eat, who you're around, what you listen to, and your habits. I think this follows into what you listen to, because this is a very common thing. And I hate playing the race card, and I hate when people play the race card, because I think everybody tries to be victims, no matter what race you are. But it's very typical in, in the Black community, where especially when it comes to health, we like to make excuses and play the victim or the race card. Oh, the diet don't work for Black women. The diet don't work for Black men. I'm stressed out because I get called the N-word, so now I got to eat. What does that got to do with you being in shape? But anyway, let's go ahead and get to this video. Let me refresh it real quick. Here we go.
You can't be calm about this. I'm a Black man in America. The reason why heart disease, listen to what I'm saying. The reason why heart disease and cancer and obesity and diabetes are bigger in the Black community is because of the stress we carry from having to deal with being called the N-word directly or indirectly every day. You can't be calm about this.
Guys, man, I pray that you guys, if you're watching this, don't be like this guy. Don't have this victim mentality. This guy said the reason why he's out of shape, basically in a summary, is because him being a Black man in America and the stress of the N-word that is put on him. How does that make any sense? But this is what I mean by the victim mindset. This is a loser mentality. It's a loser mentality. So you're telling me someone called you the N-word, someone called you a word that you didn't like, and now this is why you're fat. But I guarantee you, he listens to rap music that uses the same language. I guarantee you he's around people that use the same language, that use the N-word frequently on a regular basis. He probably uses the N-word from time to time. This is insane behavior, bro. It's insane behavior. So it's racism. That's the reason why you can't get in shape. But it's not because of you going to, it's not because of you eating Hennessy infused wings. It's not because of you eating peach cobbler on a day-to-day basis. It's not because of you, going to Popeye's chicken and getting the $5 box. It's because of racism. How does that make any sense? The victim mentality, bro, it is the craziest type of logic that I've ever heard before. Next to veganism. Next to veganism, man. This is an insane logic coming from a grown-ass man at that. I'm very disappointed in him, bro. And this is supposed to be a pastor. He's supposed to be someone that leads people, right? This is someone that people go to for direction and answers. I think he's a pastor. I'm not sure if he's a pastor or a congressman or whatever. Well, he's in a position of authority either way. This is very, very disappointing behavior from someone that's in a position of authority. This is insane, bro. Like Black folks, bro, like and again, I hate to play the race card, man, but we like to play that victim shit so much, man. Especially when the narrative doesn't benefit us. No, you're fat because you eat like shit, man. You don't work out. That is the only answer as to why you're not in shape. You eat like shit. You drink a lot. You don't work out. You don't watch your calories. You overconsume calories. You're high caloric. You're high calorie. That's why you're fat. You eat too many calories. If we want to be honest here, you're eating too many damn calories. That's why you're fat. That's why your clothes don't fit. That's why you can't see your Johnson. You eat too many damn calories. That's why when you walk up a flight of steps, you're huffing and puffing. You eat too many calories. Not because of racism. That's crazy, man. That and people follow this guy as well. People follow this guy. People go to him for advice. People look up to this guy. This is very dangerous rhetoric, bro, to be saying on national television. Very dangerous. Yeah, I'm disappointed in that. Whoever that guy is, I don't know who he is, but he's clearly out of shape. Clearly out of shape. Clearly doesn't work out. But hey, man, this is who people follow. So can't say I'm not surprised. But anyway, man, let's get to the main event. Main event, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button, man. Hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button. All that good stuff. Today, man, we're talking about the reason why you're still fat, and it's not genetic. So this plays perfectly into today's main event. So so again, this is kind of piggybacking off of the video that we just saw. Most people, they blame their body on metabolism, their age, racism, genetics, but the problem isn't your biology. It's not. The problem is your environment. The problem is your standards. The problem is your mentality. You guys are too weak-minded, because the first thing that happens when people call you out on why you're overweight is you point to racism. You point to somebody else. He called me the N-word. That's why I'm stressed out. That's why I overeat. Damn, so you're telling me that someone has that much power over you. Someone has that much power over you to cause you to damn near self-destruct? Damn. If I had that much power over somebody, bro, that's crazy. But again, this is the mentality, man. There's no accountability. People don't like accountability, especially people that are not disciplined. They hate accountability. If you don't have any structure in your life, if you don't have any discipline, if you don't have a routine, you're going to despise accountability, because you've been getting away with just doing whatever you want for a long time and no one's called you out. You've been able to just cruise through life without anybody pointing any type of flaws out from you. So the minute somebody points out a flaw from you, you get defensive. You get aggressive. You start blaming people. You start being a victim. This is weak behavior, man. And it's so sad that I see this. I see this with men a lot. A lot. I don't know what's going on with a lot of men these days, but it be the men, the weak ass men that's in my comments arguing with me about certain things, crying, calling me names, shit like that. That's what women do, bro. I expect that from women. I don't expect that from a grown ass man. So it's very interesting to see how, and you see how men, you start to realize everybody ain't raised the same. You realize that most men are just weak-minded. They're always going to be the victim. They're never going to step up and say, man, it's my fault this happened this way. I can say that, and I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody, but I'm just aware enough to say that everything that's happened in my life up until this point has been my fault, whether it be good, whether it be bad. It's all been my fault. I have nobody to blame but myself. All my failures, all my successes, all my ups and downs, it's all been because of me. Every choice that I made, it's all my fault. But no, folks want to go and blame other people. It's his fault. It's the white man's fault. It's my boss's fault. What about you, bro? What about you, bro? It might be your fault. No one is putting a gun to your head and making you do anything in this life. This is a free country. You're free to do whatever you want. As long as you're not breaking the law, you're free to make your own choices. But some of you guys just insist on when things don't go the way you want to go ahead and blame somebody else. Insane. It's crazy. But yeah, man, a lot of times they blame genetics. You know, they always say, oh man, see, these are lies that most men tell themselves. Oh, I've always been this way. It runs in my family. It's harder at my age. All lies. All lies. All lies that can be debunked. Just because you're 35, just because you're 40, you're not old. It's not too late to get in shape. It's always been this way. No, it's been this way because you've told yourself it's always been this way. You've already programmed in your mind that this is how it's going to be going forward. So there's no reason to even try at that point. Why would you? When you've already programmed your mindset to think that this is how I'm always going to be. There's no change that can happen. There's nothing I can do to fix this situation. So if you want to be stuck there, you're going to be stuck there. Most people, you know, they blame genetics, you know. Oh man, it's part of my family. Bro, do y'all know that only 5% of obesity is predispositioned? Let me say that again. I'll say it's less than 5%. Less than 5% of obesity is genetic predisposition. Yeah. Less than 5% of obesity is genetic predisposition. So that means most of that is from your environment. And your environment shapes your habits. Your habits shapes your mindset. Your mindset shapes your lifestyle. It's all a domino effect, man. It starts with your environment. And I would say no. I would say your environment shapes your mindset. And that mindset shapes your habits. Habits shape your lifestyle. And that going forward will tell you where you stand in life, how you look, how much money you earn, who's in your network, how you feel about yourself. It's very important, man. It's bigger than just overeating, bro. All this shit plays a major role in how you look at life. So when people try to like downplay, oh man, I don't really care about getting in shape. Nah, bro, it's more to it than just getting in shape and getting your body fat down and building muscle, man. It's about how you look at life, bro. It's about how you look at life. But this is why you're still fat. This is why you're still fat. For that simple reason. You know? But more reasons why, and then on to add on top of that, you know, when we're talking about your mindset or your environment, you know, which shape your habits eventually. We talked about last episode about convenience. Look at your history in your DoorDash and your Uber Eats, fast food delivery. How many times did you cook last night or this week? That's why you're still fat. You made it easier for yourself. You want to make life easy. And that's not a bad thing. So don't get that twisted. Yes, we want to make life easier, but in certain areas, you still want to challenge yourself as a man every chance you get because it keeps you sharp. This is about reclaiming your edge. We want to reclaim our edge. In order to maintain your edge, you have to continuously do hard shit. And I'm not saying make your life harder, because a lot of you guys got on my DMs or my comments talking about, why would you want a hard life? You're missing the point. If you want to stay sharp, if you want to, keep your edge, you have to continuously put yourself in things that are going to challenge you, that are going to make it harder for yourself. But that's when you grow. That's where growth is. We don't want to have a harder life. No, we want to have an easier life, but you still want to put yourself in situations where you can challenge yourself to be better, to do better. Because it just keeps you sharper. It keeps your mindset sharper. And it's very simple. Just having a simple workout routine that you follow keeps you sharp, keeps your edge. Telling yourself that I'm going to be eating like this Monday through Friday, that's hard. Most people can't do that. Having a steady routine of when you're going to eat your meals or what you're going to eat your meals, meal prepping, rather than going to the restaurant or eating out. That's hard to do, bro, because it's not convenient. That's what I mean by doing hard things. Doing what most people can't do. Right? So things like that, stop relying on convenience. Right? Not letting your standards slide. That's why people stay fat. They let their standards slide. They started off at 4 days a week. That 4 days turned to 3. 3 days turned to 2. And before you know it, they work out when they can, when they want to. And then they wonder why, damn, man, my stomach is getting bigger. These clothes don't feel like these clothes don't fit the same like they used to. Well, your standards have dropped. You let your standards slide. That's why you got fat. Your girlfriend told you, let's start, watching Netflix and eating ice cream at 9:00. When you know that you don't eat junk food or you don't eat ice cream until on the weekends, until the weekend. That's why you got fat. You let your girlfriend convince you to not follow your standard of no junk food during the week. And then you kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And you got fat. Again, the next one is you living in a soft environment. You're living in an environment where, again, it goes back to the winner's diet. If you're around people that are fat, eventually you're going to be fat. Because eventually they're going to be taking you to all the fat spots that they go to every week. They're going to be introducing you to all the foodie spots. You hang around 5 big backs, you're going to be the 6th one. You're going to be the 6th one. Because they're gonna show you why they look how they look. They're gonna show you why they have a double chin, a recessed chin. They're gonna show you why they have rolls on their neck. If you hang around people like that long enough, that's what's gonna happen to you. So the people that you're around, the environment that you're in is gonna shape you. And then the last one is this, man. The last one is this. You keep starting over. You might be good for 3 days on. Yes, man, I've worked out. I tracked my macros. I've done my cardio. I've done everything I can. I got good sleep. You do it for 3 days, and then you slip the next day. You slip again the next day, and then you get back on it. You're inconsistent. You're inconsistent. That's why you're fat. That's why you're going to stay fat. You're not consistent enough. You keep starting and stopping. You're good for a week, and then you're bad for 3 weeks. You can't give somebody a good haircut and then the next 2 haircuts it's a piece of shit. And then again, you give them another good haircut. They're going to stop coming to you. They're going to go for somebody that's more consistent, that's more reliable. You're not consistent. That's why you're fat. Can't follow a program for 3 weeks without you wanting a cheat meal. 3 weeks. You can't get a cheat meal. You can't wait to not get a cheat meal. It's a whole 6-week program. In week 3, you're already wanting a cheat meal. That's why you're still fat. So the accountability, you know, that's another reason why you guys rely on so much motivation. You know, you rely on feeling doing it when you feel like it. This has nothing to do with genetics, by the way. Nothing to do with genetics at all. But then you got the black dude talking about racism. So this is what it boils down to, man. You need to get back control. How do you do that? This is how you focus on. This is how you get out of that. This is how you break out of that. Protein with every meal. At least committing to 3 times a week of working out. Drinking water before and after meals so you don't overeat. If you guys don't track your calories, just make sure you're drinking enough water before, right? Cutting out processed foods. Stop going out to eat all the time. Maybe just save it for once a week. Walk as much as you can. Get quality sleep. I can repeat these until I'm blue in the face until you guys get it, but this is what I have to do. It's a very easy fix. But again, it goes back down to the first article about people liking the idea of certain things. They like the idea of getting in shape. But when it's time to do the work, they don't want to do it. It just sounded good. You know? So I'm gonna leave you out with this, man. Nothing when it comes to getting in shape has to do with your genetics. It has to do all with your effort, your attitude. My coach used to tell me, man, there are 2 things you control, your attitude and your effort. Those are the only 2 things that are in your control. Everything else you have no control of. But your attitude, how you look at things, your mindset going into things, and your effort, how hard you try, that determines everything. And if you have those 2 things, man, you can't lose. It's going to be hard to beat you. It's going to be hard to beat you. So I challenge you guys. I'm going to leave y'all with that. Challenge you guys to take control your attitude and your effort. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll be back again on tomorrow, actually. So we'll be back tomorrow, and I'm going to see you guys soon, man. Peace.